Nation, introducing your first warrior. Fighting out of the blue corner, this man's a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 4 wins and 1 loss. He stands 193 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 88.5 kilograms. Fighting out of Minsk, Belarus, please welcome Vadim Litvin. And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, this man's a mixed martial artist and one of the most decorated amateur fighters in our sports history. He stands 193 centimeters tall and weighs a ready 95.1 kilograms. Representing KHK MMA and fighting out of the magnificent Kingdom of Bahrain, please welcome Murtuza Talha.
Well, I think he's going to stand for a little bit. I think he's going to try and potentially use those strikes to set up the takedown. 12-0 as an amateur, but does have 6 wins by way of finish due to those heavy hands. And especially with those little 4-ounce gloves, you could see him land a big overhand right early on. Nice lead hook. You can see Vadim Litvin trying to measure him up for that straight. Nice lateral movement being implemented here by Vadim Litvin, trying to keep Murtuza at the end of his punches.
Phil, Vadim is using, there it was. Vadim was using that jab to try and control the distance between he and his opponent in order to set up a high kick.
There he is, fakes the overhand into the takedown. Beautiful combination. Has the hands connected, may take Vadim for a big ride here. Vadim doing a good job to stay on his feet thus far.
Phil, that was one of the signature exchanges in mixed martial arts. You take an opponent partly down, he goes up to standing, but in going up to standing, you take his back. He ends up in an even worse position.
Vadim Litvin trying to reach over for that overhook, may try and sweep and scoop underneath there for the underhook, but right now doing a very respectable job of keeping the fight on the feet. Nice little pot shot there from Litvin. Change of levels and an ankle pick from Murtuza. There's the takedown. Litvin doing everything he can to try and work back to his feet. Murtuza sticking to him like glue. Has one hook in.
Litvin expertly avoided that hook. Could have been halfway to the end if that hook had been successful. But Murtuza Talha is not giving up at positional dominance.
And as we've said before, an incredibly dominant amateur mixed martial artist. It'll be interesting to see how he works with his energy, how economic he can be with his energy, given that he's used to fighting 3-minute rounds and he's now competing in a 3 5-minute round fight.
I've seen Talha in training, Phil, and he is an intense beast. I don't think 5-minute rounds are going to pose a problem for him.
Just trying to soften up Litvin here with knees. Has a hold of that ankle, may just try and pop that out, scoop that out from underneath his opponent. So some nice takedown defense being exhibited here by Vadim.
Absolutely. This is a top-flight professional mixed martial arts fighter. Oh, Phil, those knees are punishing.
And every time that Litvin tries to establish a little bit of a base, it's kicked out from underneath him by Talha. You can tell that these shots are now starting to cause effect because Litvin was trying to reach back and block them a little bit.
Phil, this is the kind of wrestling pressure that I like to see. In the previous fight, Ahmed Magomedov was doing enough to keep it on the ground or enough to keep it against the fence, but was not trying to cause damage. What you're seeing in Murtuza Talha is a fighter trying to cause damage with those knees and punches.
Yeah, there's no such thing as little sort of tiny pot shots with Murtuza. Everything he throws has the intention to cause harm. Again, nice steps over the legs, but you have to be impressed with the takedown defense and the ability of Vadim Litvin to, when he's in those difficult positions, to work back to his feet.
Part of that, Phil, is a testament to his core strength and also his limb length. He's a very tall fighter, posting down on those hands. He can do a better job than could a shorter fighter at keeping it standing.
The Fight Club Belarus product, more than showing just how capable he is, coming in the role of spoiler to try and spoil the party, the debutante voyage of Murtuza Talha.
Let me say, Phil, once more, Murtuza Talha throws every shot with bad intentions, and I am impressed. He finally got that takedown he's looking for. Let's see how his ground and pound is.
Oh, it's a beautiful short elbow from the bottom from Vadim, and Murtuza just trying to work right now, but back to his feet. Not an easy fight by any stretch of the imagination here for Murtuza Talha.
Vadim needs, there he goes. He needs a little bit more space behind him. Doesn't want to get that. He does not want to have happen what just happened.
And because he was caught rushing in a little bit there, trying to force the action, to push the action just a little bit, he got caught. Murtuza Talha has one hook in, has 20 seconds with which to work. May just be a little bit beyond him right now.
Long limbs. Vadim Litvin being used to good effect.
Trying to go for that short choke, but just doesn't have enough time to get it in. Instead decides to land some heavy, heavy leather.
Fantastic round for the man from Bahrain. Murtuza Talha. Easy 10-9, I'd say. How about you, Phil?
Yeah, I'd say 10-9, just based again on the positional control from Murtuza Talha, closing the distance, closing his man down, initiating the clinch, and pretty much working from there. I think it was 2 clean takedowns he scored, and then finishes the round very, very strong. Murtuza Talha showing that he very much deserves to be within the pro ranks here in Brave Combat Federation.
Brave Nation, we're standing right near Murtuza Talha's corner. As I said earlier, this fighter's conditioning is extreme. He's chosen not to take the stool. He's standing up the whole time a la old George Foreman.
And Vadim Litvin definitely looks like the more tired man. Took a little bit longer to get off the stool there. So Murtuza chose not to take it at all. Perhaps a little bit of psychological warfare being implemented already. Cage door closed. Referee Dicky the Bandit Larkin ready to get us going here, and we are off. Nice show of respect from both men.
Hug.
Murtuza changing levels again, mate. Clubbing forward. You just get the sense that if Murtuza were to land with one of those shots, that's a huge inside leg kick.
Vadim Litvin showing you what leverage can do on a lower limb.
Oh, huge barrage of punches there.
Litvin took damage. Philly's hurt.
Another big clinch initiated into the takedown, and could this be the slow demise of Vadim Litvin? Because as you say, he did look to be ever so slightly compromised by that barrage of punches from Murtuza Talha.
Phil, I've never been hit by Talha, but I have seen him hit a lot of people. I've seen him hit a lot of pads, and that is concussive force.
He may try and work to get a hook in here. And
Vadim was looking at his hand to see if he was bleeding. He's not, but he took a huge shot.
Big knees being landed into the meat of the thigh from Murtuza Talha. And again, just establishing the position. May step over and sink in a hook. There it is. Beautiful work to flatten out his opponent.
Phil, we had talked earlier how if Vadim Litvin was going to win this fight, he had to use his footwork to keep it distance. But those knees to the thighs are compromising that ability. Very smart technique from Murtuza Talha.
Right now, this is a position he does not want to be in, because he's being forced now to carry all 95 kilograms of Murtuza Talha. And you can even hear from Murtuza Talha that he's not just popping these knees in, he's throwing everything into them. Just slowly, systematically breaking down his opponent. Again,
Phil, there are fighters that play the game, and there are fighters that spend every second of every round trying to end it. That is Murtuza Talha. Every shot he throws, he hopes is going to end the fight.
Beautifully ties up those legs a la Khabib Nurmagomedov, and from here just happy to go to work, happy to land strikes to keep himself honest. Vadim Litvin looking up at Decky Larkin, a little bit of a veteran move to try and initiate the stand-up, but Decky cannot be moved or swayed in that regard.
Vadim Litvin definitely throwing enough heavy, damaging shots to be able to keep the fight here if he so chooses.
In the mount position now to the back
mount,
take.
Phil.
One hook in, two hooks in. This could be the beginning of the end. We saw just how close Murtuza got with the rear naked choke in the closing stances of the first round.
In.
That looks like it. That's in deep.
The arms are in.
We're looking
the
at
arms
the
are in,
top.
Phil.
This is the beginning of the end.
Moments away.
Serious squeeze.
moments
There's the
over.
tap. 1-0 in his professional career. Is the Ginger Gorilla. Is Murtuza Talha. Welcome.
Murtuza Talha.
Beautiful performance, just sequential, dominant wrestling. Uses his wrestling, uses the pot shots to open up this submission and beats a very, very credible opponent in Vadim Litvin.
Absolutely. What a fantastic fight from the two-time former world IMAF champion. This is the future of mixed martial arts. This is what the amateur ranks can produce.
Was 12-0 as an amateur, now 1-0 as a pro. 13th fight, unbeaten streak, and the sky really is the limit for this young man. Just look at that squeeze, those bicep grip on the rear naked choke, and
That choke was brutal, Phil. The pressure wasn't on the carotid arteries on the side, it was on the throat, there was a larynx. There was a larynx choke. That is an absolutely brutal submission.
Proudly representing Bahrain. Murtuza Talha gets the win. Carlos Kramer's about to make it official. What a performance.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what an incredible battle and amazing debut. This one comes to an end at 3 minutes of the very second round. Your winner by rear naked choke from KHK MMA, Murtuza Talha!